and welcome back to the Vintage Unicorn. I am Emma and today I'm going to be doing this royal blue eye with brown lip. Also for my diehard fans, this is my real hair. It is my new hair color. Goodbye Red, hello Farouja Bulk. I love it. Anyway, if you are new here, please consider subscribing because we do fun stuff here. We do crazy makeup, giveaways, all that kind of stuff. So I hope you do consider that. Also follow me on Instagram. Also, I have linked my Posh mark below because I am cleaning out. Believe me, everything must go. Everything must go. I need room for new things. Anyway, I will see you on this side of the video and I hope you enjoy the tutorial. So now that I have a kind of blank canvas to work on, I think that white will play beautifully against the blues I'm using. I'm going to go in with that same 3-2-1 brush. It does have a little bit of the white on it, but not too much, not enough that it's tapping off any excess. And I'm going to go in with this beautiful color, Waters. Is it Waters or Wafers? It's Waters. Why would it be Wafers? It's blue. And I want to start packing that on the lid. And I want to kind of stay away from the inner corner, but I don't mind it getting on the outer edge. And it's going on a little muddy. I don't know if I should switch brushes, but you know what? We're already going, so let's go. This 3-2-1 brush is like the godsend of eyeshadow brushes. This one in the 506, I really feel like you can do the majority of looks with that. I just want to kind of build that in there and continue packing it in so that it's really blue, but it only goes to about right here. I want to reinforce I'm not going for a drag look in this. I love drag makeup, but it's not what I'm going for in this. So what I want to do is I want to get just a little bit more of that white color on the dome brush and continue blending all the way up to the brow bone so that there is a nice highlight, a matte highlight on that brow bone. And I don't want it to be too crazy. I just want it to have a little bit of that blue in it and have a definite kind of disconnect from what's going on the lid. And that is pretty good for now. I'm going to clean up and all that. Next thing I want to do is I have this beautiful blue liner, which actually kind of, this and like I saw this Fanagram video, music video, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love that blue, you know, and it's just such an underused color. But this eyeliner I have not used, and I feel like it really is being neglected. It's an Ulta gel liner, and it was like a buy one get one free kind of deal, so I was like, why not get a blue liner? So I'm gonna line my waterline, and I'm going to overline just the slightest. So that was pretty easy. It was just an eyeliner thing. I just don't like doing that on camera because like I don't like watching people do their waterlines on camera. But I got the idea for that because Karina Kaboom, she does her makeup in a very interesting way. She's very minimalistic while also being expressive. She usually uses what seems to be one color on the lid, but I looked and I was like, are those her eyes? Are they like reflecting off her lower lash line? And it turns out she uses a Lancome blue eye pencil, and because she has such blue eyes, mine don't really do it because they're gray, but it just kind of like reflects blue. It's a very interesting little thing. You have to have the full eye on to do it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this blue liner, and this is a technique I've done in a few other videos. I'm going to start filling in a half moon, and the way I like to do that is to pull this out and then up, and you can see this little pucker that's in my eye right there. That's what I'm going to follow. If your eyes aren't hooded, you can follow just above the socket, and that's what I want. It can be messy. It does not need to be perfect. I just want it to be there. And I also want to deepen it a little bit, especially down here. And then I'm going to be blending that out with another color shortly. What this will do is it will act as a barrier between the color and the smokiness that I'm gonna aim to create. I don't want to say I'm going to because, you know, might not happen, but this is actually a fairly easy trick to do. And then just drawing that little line. I always seem to do it better on one eye than the other, but that's okay. As long as they're roughly the same, we will be all right. It's almost like drawing in your outer V. See, this side's really patchy. That's okay. Once it is blended, it'll be okay. And I am going to draw just a little bit right here on the very beginning of my lash line. So I'm going to take that down. Yay! It is working. Let's keep that going. So I have another interesting thing besides my hair, I ordered something. I ordered the Norvina palette, and I love the Subculture palette, but ABH has never really made anything that really like wowed me other than the Subculture palette, but I just want to try it. It looks interesting. It's like a bunch of cool tones. It's just fun. Like, and you know, Norvina looks so beautiful in the promo shoots for it. That's because she's beautiful, but you know, anyway. So I am now going to work on blending and assimilating this little crescent moon into an eye look. So taking the Morphe E36, I'm gonna dip into Baltimore, which is a royal blue kind of shimmer shade, or glimmer, I guess, because it's Lat Von D. And I just wanna start, I'm gonna start right here because it's an easy place to deposit makeup without worrying about it getting like really super messy. And I just wanna cover wherever that gel liner was and then start feathering it. And I will also be bringing this down along the lower lash line shortly, and I'm going to be building up the intensity and smoking this out. I was on the ABH site, and they had the coolest little brush. It was like this little tapered, very flat brush, and I was like, that is the perfect cut crease brush. They didn't advertise it as that, but I was like so ready to get it, and I was like, that's an $18 brush, and it's probably smaller than this brush for $18. I mean, I will splurge on makeup, but when it makes sense, you know? So I've been trying to find a similar brush, and I will let you know. I think it's their number 18 brush. Mostly the brushes I splurge on are like Lat Von D brushes, and that I think is partially for the collector value and because they're great brushes. I really wish I had my original Lat Von D brush set that I had back in the day, but, you know, life choices led me to lose some of those things. So now I'm just going to continue. I haven't added any more product to the brush since I went on this eye, and I'm going to begin feathering, and I'm going to gradually build that up until this little crescent moon is nice and smoky and has its own presence. Now that I've added, like, you know, some depth and kind of evened the eyes out, I want to go ahead and take this tiny little brush. It's by Face Secrets. I got it at Sally. I don't know where to get another one, but it is super precise. And I want to dip into Hard Magic, which is the matte black on the palette, and I want to start building that in to my little shape that I have, but I don't want it to be super there. I just want it to help darken up that blue and add just a little bit of mystery. And I want to take it just below where I lined my lower lash line with that royal blue color, which is called Baltimore. I don't know how I just forgot that. Again, I am just going to kind of fluff it in there so that there is a nice shape. And it's a very almond eye. I like that. In fact, this eye, I don't know how it got a little tick right there. I'm going to try and mimic that on this side because I like that. Just that little tick. Maybe it's one of those things you can't imitate. Maybe it's just one of those like makeup magic moments that you cannot recreate. So that's there. So it's about right there. I'm just gonna pull some shadow and see if I can't make it pointed like the other side. There we go. I don't know how I got that, but I like that. This has just become a winged look. Shoot, I put it in the wrong place, didn't I? That's okay. And with that tiny little brush, I'm just going to continue going in to add that depth, and that is actually a very nice point where I'm at. I'm going to add a little bit more black right here because in my efforts to try and recreate this little piece of makeup magic, I seem to have made this side way blacker. And now what I want to do is I just want to blend. I want to clean it up. So I'm taking a 506, and this is a 506 that has had a rough life. And I picked this one especially because it has been washed so many times that it's a little loose and it's clean. And doing that, using that, I'm just going to do small circular motions back and forth just in this outer area. I don't want to blend too much on the inner eye area because that's already, you know, where it's supposed to be. I just want to like soften it, and I want to soften the lower lash line too. So this is going to be a time-taking process, and if I want to like add some color, I don't want to go for a black or a dark blue. In fact, what I would suggest is going with a little bit of that white. All that will do is move the powder. There we go. So I'm just going to continue doing that until I have a nice smooth and gradient oval. So I added a little bit of that whiteout concealer to the high points of my face, just to give me a little bit, because I don't want to go for a full coverage look today. I usually don't like full coverage. I just don't. It's heavy feeling. I don't like it. So I'm just kind of blending a little bit of that with the butt end of the Japanesque sponge so that the rest of my face has a good amount of, you know, even tone. So let's go back to the eyes, because that was the main part of this tutorial, and that's where my funny little stained brush is going to come in. Now, for some reason, I've washed this brush over and over and over, and it is stained truly red. Now, I'm going to take Hairspray, which I love that name. It is such a cool name for the product. And I am going to spray the brush with a little bit of this essence spray. This is almost the exact same formula as far as I can tell as the MAC Prep Fix Plus, except this is $2.99. You know, come up. So dipping into Hairspray, I am going to see if I can get it to stick to this inner corner with this brush. And it actually did. It did so beautifully. So I'm going to really coat that brush. And I just want to come across the inside of my eye, and I want it to end about there. So this is what really pulls the whole look together. Sometimes just a little bit of shimmer really does make a look wonderful. So I still have that blue under there, and it's working quite nicely as a base because it's still visible in some areas under that Hairspray color. And I don't want it to go all the way across. I'm actually just, with the slightest of pressure, moving a little bit of that sparkle closer and closer to the big darkness. Now what I want to do is take just a little bit more and press it on top of that concealer so that I've got that cute little tear duct effect, which really does open up the eye. I never used to work with shimmers. I really didn't like them, but the Spellbinding Eyeshadow book and the Locket Glimmer book really made me love like shimmer shadows, and they really do a wonderful thing for your eyes. So now that that's been sitting there for just a minute, I just want to blend, and the brush is pretty dry now, and I just want to make sure that there isn't a harsh line. Like this eye looks fairly perfect. This eye stopped a little abruptly, so I'm also going to pick up a little bit of that blue, that watercolor, and just not go too far either way, and just continue to get them to play nice together. I don't want a stark transition. I want a nice little gradient. And I'm going to intensify this side ever so slightly. And then watch, I'll end up with a big old line on that side. No, actually that turned out really nicely. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tuck it in some areas that I'm noticing there's a little bit of issue, like right here. That doesn't need to be right there. I think that's from the liner. And just really making sure that that sparkle is there. And she is not going anywhere either. Without adding any more product, I just wanna add a little bit of that shimmer to the brow bone. I did not, I went down to, but I didn't, because I don't want a super shiny brow. I just want it to be slightly illuminated. And the way that I can really get this on there is kind of by cleaning up that foundation with the brush that has a little bit of that shimmer on it. So lights, camera, lashes, we are almost done. So I promised an interesting lip look, and I am not going to disappoint. What I'm doing is I'm taking this BKR water gloss and I'm applying just the slightest little bit. There is makeup on my pinky nail onto my lip, just so that it's a little bit more pliable and a little bit more moisturized. Because what I'm going to be doing is scaring me, actually. I'm going to be playing on the color wheel just a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Walnut eyebrow, 24-hour brow, and a Morphe G15 brush. And I'm just going to coat the very tip of the bristles. And I'm going to, starting from the very base of my lip, start filling that in. Not the entire lip, just the high and low points. And it's blending in with that gloss beautifully. Sorry, this is going to be time consuming. One thing I love about vegan products and Lat Von D's products in particular is they are so versatile. I've used her brow products on, you know, my lids. I've used them as eyeshadows, as crease enhancers, to cut my crease, you name it. Now, because this is not a lip brush, this is a little more difficult than anticipated. There we go. And now I'm just going to intensify that bottom bit a little more. Alright, that is enough, because what I'm going to do next is I'm going to marry the best of both worlds. That looks kind of scary, but I'm going to be taking Jeffree Star's Posh Spice and putting it over this. Now, what I want to do is be very careful about how I apply this. And I love this color because it is such a cool tone. It's ashen, it's very nice. And I'm just going to blend those into each other. Ironically, as much as there is a feud between these two, their products have very similar formulas. And they work together beautifully. And just blending that in. All right. I am actually very happy with how this turned out. I was really scared about the lip plan, but I am very happy with it. So that is the end of the tutorial, lights, camera, lashes. I did add a little tiny bit of my Fard Ombre, the NYX Ombre blush, just for a little bit of warmth to the face and to shape my face a little. And the blue eye brown lip is complete. I hope you guys really enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you guys don't mind that my hair is now not red anymore. And I hope you guys consider subscribing if you're new here. Please like, leave a comment. Let me know what looks you'd like me to try, and I love trying crazy things. Would you like me to try a one product full face? You know, anything like that. I would love to hear from it. I love hearing from you guys. Don't forget the Jeffree Star giveaway is ticking down. Enter for your chance to win either a blood sugar palette, a thirsty palette, or a Velour liquid lipstick equality liquid lipstick set. One of the three. All you have to do is subscribe, comment, like, and if you want, follow me on my Instagram, though that is not required. All of you, I am so happy that I am back into this like everyday kind of filming mood, and I will see you next time.